In 2017, the Eddie Bravo Invitational debuted its first all-women's bracket. The tournament was an instant success, reaching audiences far and wide via internet pay-per-view and UFC Fight Pass. On that night, 16 flyweights handpicked by Eddie Bravo came together for an historic night that allowed the ladies to take the spotlight and shine on the sport's greatest stage.
Get to the wrist! To the wrist! To the wrist! To the wrist! Hit it to your chest! Hit it up!
For the first time, the Eddie Bravo Invitational is set to hit San Diego, California, where 16 ladies battle for the opportunity to become the first woman to capture EBI Bantamweight gold. Atop the stacked bracket of competitors is IBJJF and ADCC champion Beatrice Mesquita. With momentum on her side after capturing gold at the 2018 Worlds, Mesquita gears up for her first no-gi submission-only tournament of the year.
It's not easy to live the jiu-jitsu life. The athlete life is hard. You have to training hard every day. Sometimes your body gonna say, no, just rest a little bit, but you cannot because the tournament's coming up and you have to make it. For me, like the big difference between like IBJJF tournaments and like submission only is the rules. Like the rules, like sometimes for me it's boring, to be honest. Like I don't really like it. I just want to go train and go for the submission. That's the main goal, you know. Like even when you can do points, like the main goal is still like the submission, because it doesn't matter if the guy have 50 points and if you submit, then you're gonna still win, you know. So always the goal gonna be the submission. So for me, sometimes doesn't make a lot of sense. You cannot like, oh, you cannot heel hook, or you cannot like foot lock for this side, just for the other side. Man, to think about all those things, for me, it's like so boring. I just want to go there and do my job. And like, especially in the black belts, okay, I agree. A white belt maybe doesn't know where they should turn, like to doesn't hurt their leg. But I mean, if you inside there, you should know. Like if you sign your name, you should know what to do inside the mat, you know? Especially in the black belt, like you should know how to defend yourself. That's why like jiu-jitsu is like a martial arts, to you know how to protect yourself. My jiu-jitsu style is really simple. It's like the great jiu-jitsu. I don't like to do a lot of crazy styles like jumping or front row, back row, you know. Like I just go like for the setups that I know gonna work. The simple things that I know works always work for me since I'm a kid, and I just keep doing it. Like armbar from the guard, taking the back, like simple styles that like I make it work. So it doesn't like make sense like to learn 2,000 positions. Maybe I think I know 2,000, but like I don't need it like to make it work, you know, to make it like to win the fight. Like for me, always was like the simple things, the simple style. So I just keep on going by this. Of course, I know like if I have to berimbolo, if I have to do lapel guard, if I have to do all those like style, I can do it, but like it's not what it works for me on the time of the fight. If I close the guard and get the arm, or if I pass the guard and take the back, for me it works better, you know. So I think my style is like more simple style, like Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. Immediately when I got the invitation to EBI, like I was, yes, I want to do it so bad, like, you know, like, because like I've been seeing the girls fighting. Gabby from my gym, she fought before and she did it great. And like, so when I thought like the way the tournament it is, I said, yes, that looks great, you know. I don't think a lot about to fight the 10 minutes. I want to submission first. So I guess I can do it before the 10 minutes to don't go for the overtime, especially because I think it's going to be very hard like to give my arm on my neck. So yeah, but like I think it's, I've been used to train like 10 minutes, so that's not like something new for me. Sometimes I feel the girls like more aggressive, you know, like looks like they take it like personal, you know, like sometimes like you look at the brackets and this girl, I gotta kill her. Like, you know, like sometimes like I feel like this, but for myself, not really. Of course, I want to beat everybody. That's my bracket because I want to be the champion. But it's not like something personal, but I think we got more like aggressive and like we don't have a lot of power, so we gotta use more like our technique than our power. But I really appreciate how Ed does the tournament and push so hard like for the girls like to make it the same as the guys, because some tournaments they put like the guys like over there and the girls over here. So man, we train the same, we train hard the same, we do like the diet the same, we do the physical training the same. So like why should have this different, you know? We work as hard as them. And I think like I really appreciate like we're gonna be live in the UFC Fight Pass. So this is something I never thought in my life it could be happen like to me, to have my fights, and for sure like a lot of big names gonna be watching it. So I think it's gonna be really cool, and I really appreciate like it's possible to live the dream and to be here and to be a champion, to be a woman in the sport and your name become big. This year I haven't done no gi yet, but ABI gonna be the first one, and I'm ready to kill and then show that I can keep it doing great. To wear a belt means a lot for me, you know? So I definitely wanted that belt. I really want to be the first champion bantamweight. And yeah, it's like have the belt on my hips, like this is gonna be a lot. Maybe on my shoulder, like doesn't matter what, like getting a belt means like more than medal sometimes, like trophy. I don't know, I always look it up for belts because like, I don't know, like we see the big fights, like the UFC, like the big tournaments, you have a belt, and like this looks big, it looks huge, you know, and makes like all your hard work was like very good and very like worth, you know. If you dedicate yourself, if you focus, like if you train good, and like if you're doing everything you can, like if you improve yourself and if you go hard, the gold medal gonna be the consequence.
Meu nome é Bianca Basilio, sou da equipe Almeida JJ, moro em São Paulo e eu treino há 10 anos. O jiu-jitsu tem muitas competições, eu sempre fui uma pessoa muito competitiva, então eu comecei a treinar e competir muito, e aí o jiu-jitsu hoje é o amor da minha vida. Quando eu vim a primeira vez lutar o Mundial aqui em Long Beach, eu tinha 15 anos e eu vim aqui, meus professores colocaram no meu coração, eles acreditaram que eu podia. E eu não acreditava, porque eu falava, poxa, eu sou pobre, meus pais não têm dinheiro para me ajudar, como que eu vou para os Estados Unidos lutar? Então, aí eles falaram, não, você consegue, vamos dar um jeito. Aí eu comecei a fazer rifas, vender kimono e fazer um monte de coisa para eu poder estar aqui. E graças a Deus deu certo, consegui tirar meu visto. E aí hoje... Aí desde então, né, desde o meu primeiro mundial, que foi em 2012, foi dali que eu acho que me despertou a vontade de viver disso mesmo, de se tornar minha profissão. E porque no outro ano eu sabia que eu ia fazer de tudo para estar aqui de novo. E hoje estou aqui mais uma vez e hoje vou lutar e eu estou muito feliz. Na verdade, eu sempre, quando me perguntam quem é o meu ídolo no jiu-jitsu ou a minha influência no jiu-jitsu, eu sempre falo que são meus professores, né? O meu mestre Caio Almeida, porque ele é uma pessoa que eu vejo todos os dias ralando, batalhando, não desistindo com todos os obstáculos que tem. Ele sempre tá ali buscando e nunca desiste, sabe? Então isso para mim é uma inspiração e é isso que me faz querer continuar cada vez mais, porque se ele é assim, persistente com o sonho dele, por que eu não ser assim também? Muitas mulheres treinam iguais aos homens, né? Pelo menos eu faço 4 treinos por dia, eu treino o dia inteiro. E junto com os meus amigos que hoje estão lutando aqui o Mundial, por exemplo. Quando o Ed Bravo me chamou pro evento, eu fiquei muito feliz, né? Ano passado eu assisti o ABI, eu acredito que foi o último ABI que teve. Eu assisti as lutas das meninas e fiquei pensando em, poxa, eu queria estar ali também. que da hora, que evento é esse? Até porque eu não conhecia, mas eu assistindo o vídeo, assistindo as meninas lutarem, eu falei, poxa, quem é o organizador desse evento? Eu quero falar com ele porque eu quero lutar também. E aí eu fui perguntando para as pessoas, eu consegui entrar em contato com ele, mas aí eu acredito que, poxa, ele deve ter várias coisas para fazer, então talvez ele não viu a minha mensagem na hora, mas depois de um tempo ele entrou em contato comigo, eu fiquei muito surpresa e graças a Deus agora eu estou no evento, estou muito feliz e eu tenho certeza que Deus preparou isso e eu vou dar meu melhor lá. Eu gosto de fazer tudo, na verdade, né? Eu gosto de chamar pra guarda, eu gosto de passar guarda, eu gosto de lutar jiu-jitsu. Eu não tenho um jogo só, né? Eu não só faço uma coisa, eu eu treino tudo. Na academia nós treinamos um pouco de tudo. Mas eu acredito que uma das minhas posições preferidas é passagem de guarda, né? Passando a guarda, pega as costas e pra pegar. Bom, eu lutei, na verdade, valendo todas essas chaves, né? Que geralmente no jiu-jitsu não vale. Eu lutei apenas 2 campeonatos, que foi a seletiva do ADCC, né? E o ADCC. Eu fui vice-campeã do ADCC ano passado e foi uma experiência e tanto na minha carreira. Eu gostei muito de ter lutado porque o no-gi, né, o jiu-jitsu sem o kimono é outro esporte, né, o submission é outro esporte e, poxa, eu acho super maneiro, é um desafio a mais e eu estou preparada para sair na poada de qualquer hora e seja o que Deus quiser.
My name is Lila Smadja, and I train out of 10th Planet Headquarters, and I am a brown belt under Eddie Bravo. I competed at EBI 5 against Talita Alankar as a purple belt, and I was able to defeat her by a 2-second overtime. I just remember everybody saying, just go out there and have fun and, just do what you can, and you're the underdog, so just have fun with it. And I also remember in training the last 3 weeks, we just did survival skills and basically just being able to survive from really bad positions. So I would start in every bad position possible, so that way I had that feeling of being stuck in a bad position, which I was for most of the match in the 10-minute regulation. And I was able to survive, and it showed me that I had tremendous heart and survival skills in a jiu-jitsu match, so that was awesome to see. In my first match at EBI 12 against brown belt Olympia Watts, wasn't expecting her to pull guard so quickly, so that was definitely a surprise to me, but again, I was well prepared and I capitalized. She pulled guard, I pushed her off, and I knee sliced to my guillotine, which is my #1 go-to submission when I'm trying to pass the guard. So my mindset was to go for the kill and don't hold back, and I think that's what really helped me get my quick submissions, because they felt that I wasn't holding back on anything, and that's why they would tap so quickly.
Ooh, nice guard recovery.
Leg now. Sullivan tap. Lila Smadja on her way to the semifinals. Impressive stuff. Defensive, but ultimately offensive, and it pays off.
For EBI 16, I was a last-minute replacement for Elvira in 10th Planet Finland, which I'm honored to be a replacement for her. I had about a 2-month notice that I will be doing EBI 16, which for sure is a camp, but it's not a full camp. My last EBI, I was training for 6 months solid. You have different phases of your camp. This time I didn't really get to go into all my different phases, especially now that I'm going up a weight class. There's a lot of components that I would have liked to work towards if I knew I was going up a weight class, but it's all good. I stay ready. I'm always training, I'm always in the gym, I'm always keeping up with my jiu-jitsu and my conditioning. For this camp, I'm really just honing in on the strength and then the jiu-jitsu technique, because I think at the end of the day, that's gonna be my most important asset, is my jiu-jitsu technique, because I am at a lower weight class and a disadvantage from the other heavier girls. So I'm really honing in on my technique with jiu-jitsu. So when I heard that I was gonna be a replacement for Elu, I stepped up the game and took my training up a notch so that I would be well prepared as much as I can be. If I could do EBI 4 times a year, I would be so happy and so content. But to some of these ladies who are used to doing IBJJF and ADCC and Pan Ams, whatever other tournament is in there, you know, they're used to this points tournament, and to them, being an IBJJF world champion is everything, which is great. There's nothing wrong with that, but I wasn't jiu-jitsu raised like that. I was raised with submission only, and the fact that the submission only game and tournaments are coming up and growing and getting more and more popular is super exciting for somebody like me who's all about the submission only game, and that's mostly what we train in here, is going for the kill, going for the submission. Making somebody give up, making somebody tap out is really the ultimate win.
Looks deep. Oh! Lila Smadja in record time, the quickest submission.
Ultimate goal is to go for the kill, go out there, have fun, and prove myself and show myself like I did in EBI 12, where I went out there, my first match, 19-second submission. My second match, I think it was 43-second submission. I mean, to me, that was everything in itself. And if I can do that again, it would be awesome. If I could do something flashy like that, it would be awesome. But again, if I can go out there and prove myself and prove the survival skills, the heart, the intensity, the emotional and mental spirit that goes in with competing, if I can show all that and prove all that in my matches, that's everything to me. And just show everybody that anything's possible and that anybody can do it if you put your mind to it, and if you train hard for something, that you can really prove yourself in win, lose, or draw.
I'm Niki Sullivan, and I'm a brown belt. I've been training about 8.5 years, and I currently train at Atos HQ in San Diego, California. So I actually got into jiu-jitsu in college. At Indiana University, where I went to school, they have a bunch of martial arts classes that you can take for credit. So I took a jiu-jitsu class for 1 credit when I was in college and got really hooked, and then I stuck around, and I trained at their club for a while and then got involved in another gym and kind of went from there. California is actually something I've thought about for years. I actually had people ask me about it, like, are you thinking about going to California? You know, that's where all the jiu-jitsu is. But it was one of those things that I kind of felt like, man, I don't know if that's for me. I don't know if I'm good enough for that. And I had several people kind of encouraging me. I'd met Andre before, I'd met Angelica before. I had some friends at the gym. My goal is very much learning. I'm at one of the best gyms in the world, training with the best in the world. And so I have a lot to learn, and there's a lot of getting my butt kicked. And for me, that's my big focus right now. I want to compete a lot, whether it's doing IBJJF or doing super fights for Fight to Win or doing EBI. I want to try to just get as much experience as I can and just see where I can go with the whole jiu-jitsu thing.
Final opening round matchup, Fiona Watson versus Niki Sullivan.
So it was the very first female EBI, and so it was kind of being a part of history in a way. And I mean, I had a blast doing EBI. I know people ask me, they're like, is it so nerve-wracking to like get on stage like that and be, you know, the only match going on? I think it's just really exciting. I get really pumped up.
She has something there.
Ooh, scissors.
Oh, wow.
You can finish
That's
them
a
there.
real choke.
You can tap
Look
them
at, there it is, there's a tap, wow!
So I'm very excited to come back, and I mean, the other women in the bracket are so tough, but that, like, to me is very motivating, because now when I train, I'm like thinking, okay, I'm gonna go against the best, and that's what I want, and just really be able to show kind of my jiu-jitsu and what I can do, and very exciting. I like sub only because you don't have to worry about the points as much. Like, you can just go ham on the submissions, and yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about. That's what, you know, the purpose of jiu-jitsu ultimately is to get the submission. So I like that about sub only tournaments. I kind of try to just go in and think I'm going to play my game. So I try not to worry too much about what they're going to do. I know, like, I saw that she had a good close guard, so I definitely didn't want to end up there. But yeah, I just kind of went out and I started to play, and I started with one strategy, and started trying to attack her legs, and she was defending really well, but then I ended up being able to get on top and pass. And we kind of had some scrambles, and that's where I was able to just catch the scissor choke. And I really didn't intend to go for that submission at all, but it worked. It was cool. It was a really cool feeling to get the tap on the big screen.
Look, there it is. There's the tap. Wow!
A lot has changed for me since the last EBI. I've been, I moved to San Diego, and I've been training at Atos full time since then. So I'm learning a lot of new tricks, learning how to smash better. I have a lot of varied partners, a lot of really good training partners. So I think that really gives me a well-rounded game and just makes me able to be ready for anything, any style that could come at me. I love getting to travel and train with as many people as possible, especially when I was in Indiana. I would travel all the time because I didn't really have a lot of high-level women to train with. So I would go like to Chicago or go to Ohio or go all over to get to train with other women. And I think you kind of at a certain point need to learn what works for you. And there's a lot of people that say to do things different ways. And that's one thing I like about this gym is they have a lot of high-level guys who are very, very good, and they do things differently, and they are really open to that. They're like, okay, this is one way to do the move, but this might work better for you, or this person is probably really good for you to learn from because they have a similar style. So I really like that. It's good to have coaches who are open to that and who recognize there's more than one way to do things. I definitely don't want to make it to overtime. I don't even want to go 10 minutes, man. That's a long time. I want to submit in the first minute, right? That's ideal, but I'll definitely be ready if the overtime happens. And when you get, the higher the skill level and the closer the match is, it's a very real possibility. It can be very hard to submit someone who's super tough. So, got to be ready for everything.
And we have a winner at 4 minutes, 13 seconds by scissor choke, Niki Sullivan.
Niki Sullivan getting it done.
I think it's a pretty big deal. I think it's definitely up there, if you win an EBI title, especially the brackets that they're putting out for the women, it's super tough. So I mean, I feel like the bracket for this EBI is tougher than the women's bracket at ADCC. It's basically the same women and then more. So it's gonna be intense. I feel like winning this title is a big deal, for sure.
My name is Sophia Nordeno, and I'm from Sweden. I'm originally from Hilti Fight Center in Uppsala, but I fight out of Barum Jiu-Jitsu in San Diego right now. And I'm a black belt, and I've been a black belt for a year under Alfredo Barum. I've been in the States now for 8 months, I think, a total. Coming back and forth for 2.5 years or something like that. I started Jiu-Jitsu because I was doing horseback riding when I was 16 years old, and then our trainer was like, you girls have to get stronger. And I had a friend who was like, yeah, there's a lot of pretty nice looking guys. Do you want to come train some Jiu-Jitsu? And I was like, I don't know what it is, but let's do it. So I went down a basement, trained with a bunch of 25-year-old hot guys, and I was hooked. So that's my story of how I started. I've been doing Jiu-Jitsu for about 12 years now. I started out doing only no-gi, and then after 2 years or something, my professor was like, you have to put on a gi now and go and compete a little bit. So I did, and then just kept on going. So I did both no-gi and gi. I came to San Diego to do Jiu-Jitsu actually, and then I kind of fell in love with Jiu-Jitsu and a guy, so it all worked out perfectly. Since I started, me coming from Sweden to the smallest country in Europe almost, I can see that there's a lot more females that actually is training right now and competing. And here in San Diego too, there's so many good athletic women who just is out there and hungry for more, And that's the biggest change, I would say. My biggest accomplishment is when I went to Russia to compete in the World Combat Games I think it was a purple belt. And I beat this black belt and won the whole thing. I was the first Swedish person who ever done that. So that was a huge thing, for sure. And then I won the trials for ADCC, so I went to Sao Paulo 2 years ago and competed in ADCC. So I'm a full-time athlete, so I train out of here at Barum, but I try to also jump around and train at other places all week long. So I train like 6 days a week or something like that, take 1 day off, and then I complement it with yoga or whatever. Jiu-Jitsu takes up most of my time, and I haven't been able to show my full potential. We've been doing IBJJF competitions, which is points rules, and points ain't my game. I'm gonna go for the submission, and I'm gonna stick to it till I get the tap. Dude, since the first time I saw EBI, I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to be invited into that. I don't want to give a F about whatever points coming. I just want to go get something. Because I come from a small academy, you know. No one really knows who I am, but I want to make sure that people know who I am when this is done. To have it on UFC Fight Pass is a big thing for me, because I'm from Sweden and people can see it from all over the world. So then even my mom can see it, you know. It's perfect. Yeah, it's crazy. And they trained so hard, and back in the days too, when no one had, like, it was only like who can train the most, you know. There was no recovery, whatever, like we know today, that it's actually, you have to eat good, you have to train, you have to hydrate, and you have to rest. Back in the day, it was just like, okay, how many hours can I get in? And I don't care about how tired you are, you're just gonna keep on going. I'm aggressive, but I'm also patient. And I know that I have 10 minutes, so I don't have to like rush into anything. And I know that I'm good at escaping stuff. I'm very good at feeling like when the danger is coming at me and move away from it quickly. And I think that's a big strength of mine. I've been changing my game to doing more overtime training, like the back, staying on the back, getting out of the back, the spider web. All that stuff is a little bit more specific right now. But more than that, I'm a submission hunter, so I don't have to change too much. There are more females out there, and we are as hungry and we are as good as the guys. We just need a little bit help and push us forward. We're always standing in the background of all the guys, training hard, tough, looking all buff. But we can also do it, you know? Jiu-Jitsu, it's all about acknowledgement. Like, you want to be out there, you want to have your name out there, you want people to see you. It's not easy to just keep on training every day. We have to eat, I have to pay my rent. So it's important to just get your face out there and show them that I'm hungry, I'm good, and I want more.
Isn't this amazing? I love these things. It literally feels like a dream right now. Like, this is so intense. Today I did the EBI qualifiers at the 10th Planet headquarters, and that event in itself was pretty crazy and awesome to get invited for qualifiers. Just EBI in itself has been something that's like cosmos, you know, unreachable, and now it's like, holy crap, like I'm in the EBI now. Like, it's something that I've just been watching and lusting after, and it's been a dream. You know, and now it's a reality. Like, that's insane. And today was just a performance of how hard my camp trains. You know, I mean, like, we train hard and we train for the worst, and I trained my butt off, and it showed.
Winner by guillotine.
We are violent, and we continue to cultivate violence within our gym in a safe manner, but in a way that beats fear. We're fearless because of the violence that we cultivate amongst each other. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. It is what it is.
All right. Timekeeper, you ready? Ladies, you ready?
I don't compete fully aware mentally. I just focus on body awareness, really. I mean, it would be my preference to keep my eyes closed, but out of respect, I don't do that. But I try and not really look at everything else.
Very nice. Chest heavy. Chest heavy. Go on the far side leg. Open up those toes. Begin your sprawl.
I remember feeling, that's what I remember out of the matches, is feeling certain things. In my second match, I remember feeling in danger. Like, I felt like I could be leg locked, but we trained so hard. We trained so hard for the exact positions that I was in, that I got into, and I knew how to beat those positions, how to be fearless in those positions.
Everything tight. Continue to cook. Triangle your legs here, Liz. Keep rolling.
I remember the finals match, and she was tough. Like, she was safe, kept herself safe, and once I heard 7 minutes, I don't want to give someone the opportunity to get me in a position that I know I will not get into on my own. That's how I lost in Gracie with Alima. You know, like, I did not have a way out because I never get there, except, you know, Nathan puts me there, but like I never get there, and so I didn't have a way out. I was like, oh, and this is it. You know, like I didn't, you know, and just becoming fearless in those positions to where you know there's a way out. The double leg, you like the double leg? I was gentle. I picked her up and felt her soul leave her body, and I was like, I'll just set you down. To get prepared for this, because I came off of an 8-week MMA fight camp, had my fight, then 2 weeks. I only had 2 weeks to really prepare for this. It was 2 days of training, and then after training was Shark Tank for 15 minutes. So Shark Tank is, you know, fresh person. Every time you escape, a new person, you're back in the same position. You're at the mercy of your coach. So if your coach thinks you need to work at a certain position, like you don't get a grip, start, you know, like, or you're all the way in honey hole, start. You're all the way in, someone has you in a knee bar, start. So I just zone off and kind of like
Continue that spinal twist.
This is my life, you know, like, and I've worked really, really hard to get to this point. I've made a ton of sacrifices to make this my life. I don't drink, I don't party, I don't really have friends that aren't in the gym. I don't watch TV. I have a dog. I like dogs. How's that one? I go to the dog park sometimes. It's awesome, and I like walk around. We have this like giant dog park. It's called 1,000 Acres, and there's just like dogs for miles and miles and miles, and I just love it.
Congratulations. That was awesome. Awesome. Very good. So you're going to fight in the UFC? Yes. Oh, damn.
First time I saw EBI, we have a projector at our school that, I mean, like, it's bigger than life size when we put it up on the wall. And the first time I saw it, it's intense, right? It's this stage, and there's an audience, and it's life or death. You know, I mean, like, it's different than MMA. It's a different mindset. Yeah, I'm not getting punched in the face, but you also have to be wary of these leg locks that you wouldn't, these positions that you wouldn't get into in MMA because there's no punching. The danger that's there, it's real. Like, and you see these killers killing. You know, like, it's intense. It's so crazy. You have no idea what I've like sacrificed to get here. Like, and to be here is like freaking insane. It's like, it's a dream come true, you know, like legitimately a dream that has come true. So I mean, it's awesome. Sorry. It's out of this world, you know, like you just work so hard at something and just working. You don't even think about it. And then finally, it's there, you know, like, and you can take it. It's been a long, hard road. And I'm so excited.
My name is Kayla Patterson. I'm a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I'm representing Glory BJJ from Jackson, Tennessee.
Trying to dig for that arm bar now. She's coming around the other side. See if she can get that arm extended. Patterson trying to fight it off. Extended, and Patterson is able to clear. Wow.
Since the last EBI, I've made a few changes. I moved from Memphis, Tennessee to Jackson, so about an hour apart, but I've been focusing a lot on my no-gi game, the leg attacks, the leg entanglements. I started my camp about 2 weeks ago. Eddie sent me a message and said they had a dropout and asked if I wanted in, so I was like, hell yeah, and then I started. I've really focused a lot on getting myself into the entanglements that I'm comfortable with, and the attacks from those positions. I focused a lot on the escapes also, just being comfortable there. It feels great to be invited back to EBI. I was not happy with my performance on the first one, so I'm really glad that I get the opportunity to go back.
There you go. There you go. Now let's work.
I do have a new game plan.
10 seconds, Kayla.
Things that I've been working. I would say that the EBI rule set is becoming a lot more popular. My most recent tournament was at the ANA, and that was the EBI rule set, so I feel comfortable with it.
Ready, set, go!
Let's go, Kayla. Get out of there. Get out of there, Kayla.
What I learned from the matches with the EBI rule set was just basically tightening up my submission game. Definitely helped there. And then with the regulation versus overtime rule set, just how to prepare for the overtime a little bit better. I think going into EBI the first time, I was underprepared, so doing that tournament, it helped me open my eyes to some things that I could definitely improve on.
That is a wrap.
I think anybody in their right mind is going to try to submit as quickly as possible. It's 10-minute matches, and like I said, I don't want to work that hard, so hopefully I can get it done a lot quicker. And it's extremely important to be a part of this card. It's the second one in history, so it's an incredible opportunity that I get to be back on it. My style of grappling, I have to just do shit until it works. I really focus a lot on my top game lately, just trying to pressure pass, but when I first started, I was a huge fan of Bia, who's on the card, Beatriz Mesquita, and so I watched a lot of her guard game and a lot of Michelle Nicolini. They really influenced my foundation. Some of the tools that I possess, I think I'm pretty tough and hard to submit. So sometimes things that should work don't always, so that the tenacity is there. The reason I do jiu-jitsu is that it's a calming aspect of my life. It helps me to kind of stay centered. I'm a very fast-paced person. I tend to run headfirst into things, and so jiu-jitsu helps me kind of come back down to earth and helps me stabilize everything around me. It teaches you to be comfortable in the uncomfortable. The grand prize money obviously would be cool, but nothing in my life would change. I'm still going to try to work as little as possible and just do jiu-jitsu all the time.
I know. Ready? And go.
My name is Yvonne. I am a 4th degree brown belt representing Gracie Maida, Las Vegas. I've been doing jiu-jitsu for 15 years. I started when I was 7 years old in 2003.
There you go, Emmons.
I started training jiu-jitsu watching my brother. He started training a couple years before I did. So I grew up watching him compete and train. So once I turned 7, I decided to train with him too. When I first started training, it was such a long time ago that the community was so small. and the average person was not very knowledgeable as to what Jiu-Jitsu was. They just figured it was like karate. And now the community is huge, and because of UFC and the promoting of Jiu-Jitsu, the average person is knowledgeable as to what Jiu-Jitsu is. Everything that I do from my part-time job to hobbies or my social life is revolved around training. So I train Jiu-Jitsu probably 5 to 7 times a week, just like the 2-hour classes, depending. I drill 2 to 4 times a week and for an hour a day, depending. When I received the invitation, I was on cloud 9. This was my dream to be on EBI, and it's finally here, and I couldn't be more excited, and words couldn't describe how excited I am, seriously. I would say my game is very well-rounded. However, I am very aggressive, I'm fast-paced, and I really do enjoy the pressure game. And I think my game was influenced because I spent this past 15 years or so training with strictly men, so I had to adapt my game to be able to outweigh the men's physical attributes like strength and their weight, so I think my game was influenced a lot by that. It changes a lot in my training with all the submissions being legal. We focus for IBJJF, so there's a lot of things that we can't do, and we also have to worry about the points and all that stuff. So my training has changed, and it's actually opened up my game a lot more. So I'm happy for the changes. It's my first submission-only tournament, so I would imagine it's going to be a faster pace, more aggressive, which is my game, and I'm excited to portray that in a submission-only tournament and not have to worry about competing against the point system. This tournament is going to prove to not only myself, but to others that I'm capable of doing whatever I want, as long as I'm always the hardest working person in the room. If I become the first EBI Bantamweight champion, it's going to be the start of me accomplishing my goals as to building my name up as a Jiu-Jitsu competitor, so it makes it that much easier to open my own academy one day. The tools I possess to become EBI champion would be an amazing team. I have amazing team members that the second I got invited to EBI, they all already started working strategy with me. Drilling partners, my professors and instructors are very dedicated to making sure that I'm ready and confident when I go into EBI. I have supportive friends and family, which makes it that much easier to really train hard and focus on and put everything into this. So.
There you go. Yeah. Watch your back squeeze.
Take 75. Good training.
Got a lot of rock footage.
Awesome. Thank you.
Oh, good.
I do jiu-jitsu because I feel like it takes you away from the world a little bit. It like puts you in a place where, you know, you're just surrounded by good people. You know, you can laugh, you can joke around, and then when it's time to work, you work hard, and you don't have to worry about anything else besides the situation you're in at that moment. Because when you're getting choked in like a triangle choke or a rear naked choke, you're only worried about the choke at that moment. You don't have to worry about anything else. So it makes you focus on just one thing at a time instead of the whole world as a whole. Training takes up my whole life. I train usually starting at 9 a.m. and I usually don't get home till like 8, sometimes 10 o'clock at night. You know, I have like a couple hours in between that day for myself, but not much. I train with a personal trainer. I do MMA. I'm just starting to get into MMA now. I do a lot of boxing now, so the cardio is completely different, but it helps a lot with jiu-jitsu. I have a very laid-back style of jiu-jitsu. I don't really get frazzled easily. I don't really turn it up until someone else turns it up on me. I never actually looked up to like the famous people of jiu-jitsu. I always mostly looked up to the people that I trained with, like higher belts, like my instructors at the time and stuff like that, so. I'm definitely dedicated. I work so hard. I don't think any girl is working as hard as me right now. Just, I have the love for the sport. I want to eventually open up my own school and teach jiu-jitsu myself. I love the sport and I just want to share it with other people. I want to eventually fight professional MMA. It's just hard finding girls that actually want to fight a brown belt in jiu-jitsu and amateur MMA.
I'm pretty sure most of you guys are gonna go out there and put on a show. Remember, this is for not just you, it's not just your school, it's for all of jiu-jitsu. This is just jiu-jitsu out there. There's no points. Just like the jiu-jitsu that when you first day you walked in jiu-jitsu class, you started training, there was no points. There's nobody counting points. This is just jiu-jitsu. And the overtimes, it's just the coolest way to decide a winner. No refs, no judges, you guys decide.
I was so excited when I got the invite. I was on top of the world. I knew this was a great experience for any jiu-jitsu practitioner, and it's like the top stage for jiu-jitsu, so I really wanted to show my skills. I love submission only. I think it's the only way to go in jiu-jitsu tournament styles. They actually get more laid back when I compete in a submission only because I know I have the time and I don't have to worry about the points. That's why I like the rule set better. Competing in the ABI means so much to me, and the fact that if I have the chance to be the first EBI Bantamweight champion, I would be ecstatic. I would be so thrilled. I told my sister we were gonna take a vacation, so I can't let her down on this one. You can expect to see probably back takes from me. I like to go for stuff that normally a lot of people don't go for, so maybe some stuff you won't be expecting. But I'm just really excited to be out there.
You want the leg too? Ready, go.
I basically learned to not let it go to overtime and to really go for the finish and finish it in regulation at all costs, because you can be completely dominating somebody for a whole 10 minutes, but no one remembers that because all they care about is who finishes or who wins in overtime. So it's really important to go out there and just finish my opponents as quickly and as effectively as possible.
Brooke Mayo in Leve.
Since the last EBI, I've changed teams and I've changed camps, so I've been focusing a lot more on jiu-jitsu, focusing on different aspects of my game, and really getting some high-level jiu-jitsu training over at Nick Diaz's Academy.
Go.
It'd be fucking awesome to become the first EBI Bantamweight champion, because not only would it open up doors in the jiu-jitsu world, it would also give me a lot of opportunities in my martial arts career in general. This is normally not a weight class I have typically competed in MMA, but I want to go and prove to the world that I could be the best grappler at this weight class.
Here, but nice adjustment here by McFarland.
Competing at EBI 16 means I'm going to be going up against the best grapplers in the world at the black belt level. So I'm going out there to really take names and to dominate. So I'm showing the world that I deserve to be competing at this level.
Now we're going to Justin. Both now. Trying to keep her honest with some strikes.
The reason I do jiu-jitsu is to challenge myself, not as just a martial artist, but also as a person. I really like going out and not just like taking on challenges in competition, but taking on challenges daily on the mat. So I think jiu-jitsu is a super powerful thing that has really changed my life and made me a lot better of a person. It's made me a better person by teaching me more discipline and teaching me work ethic. I mean, there's a lot of times where during training, I get caught up in something dangerous or in a bad position, and it like teaches me how to be resilient and like work through my issues versus quitting and giving up. So that's how it's kind of improved my life.
My name is Mary Niedrauer. I'm a purple belt for Impact Zone and Team Atos. I'm a no-gi world champion at purple belt at the adult level. I've also won Pan Ams at blue belt and placed at Pan Ams at purple belt. Additionally, I've won and placed at my weight class and the absolute division for several IBJJF Opens. I'm on the mats typically 2 hours a day, 6 days a week, and then I lift weights 4 times a week. I try to implement mobility every day, as well as conditioning work. But my game plan, my style is very much like a take you down, smash you, get to the back, finish, like crush you. And I think that's the very essence of jiu-jitsu. And so I'm not changing any of that for a submission-only style versus what I would do in a points tournament, because I believe in my style of jiu-jitsu. I believe that is kind of what jiu-jitsu is all about. And I also believe it's the most effective style. Jiu-jitsu is the best martial art in the world, the most effective, and I think that's the most effective style of jiu-jitsu, so I have no reason to change anything. My style of grappling is very much like a sort of a wrestling-based grappling style. It really comes from my coach, Carlos Soto, who's an Atos black belt. He was a college wrestler, and so a lot of those elements have been brought into his jiu-jitsu and passed on to me. And I also like to follow Marcelo Garcia a lot. I think I appreciate him because of the simplicity of his jiu-jitsu. He doesn't do a lot of fancy stuff. If you watch any of his matches, he does a lot of the same things over and over, and he's just really, really, really good at them. And I kind of like that. There's sort of like a beauty to it, sticking to the basics and just being so good at them that everybody knows what you're gonna do, and you just do it to them anyway. My true goal at this point is to become a black belt world champion. I just want to see how far I can take this, whether it's up to that level or not. Time will tell, but I believe that I can make it there, and that's my goal for right now.
Ben, was that a Cincinnati sweatshirt? For some reason it looked like it was a UC sweatshirt.
I served in the Army National Guard for 6 years. I achieved the rank of corporal. In 2015, I deployed to Iraq for a year, and I earned an Army Achievement Medal while I was there. And I was an engineer while I was there, and so my job kind of on my deployment was going into bases that had been shut down since the initial invasion into Iraq, and myself and my unit kind of helped like reopen those bases. So we were kind of going into territory where no Americans had been for a really long time, and sort of reopening that, like resetting it up so that more troops could come into that area. So certainly all of us that will be on this card will train hard. You know, a lot of us have, you know, really good coaches, strength training, very athletic, that sort of thing. But I think what sets me apart from other competitors in jiu-jitsu, and I think what's carried me to the point that I'm at now, is things that can't really be taught. I think it's things that you're born with and you can maybe develop. But that would include things like drive, like knowing exactly what you want and being willing to do whatever it takes to get there. Whether that's, you know, going without sleep or training when you're cutting weight, or you know, putting in like that one extra round. And I think some of that comes from just my time in the military. Certainly has helped sort of develop that. I do think that that's something that a lot of people don't have, that extra little bit of push to just carry you through, you know, every hard training session. And I think that drive is what's going to carry me through my career in jiu-jitsu and through this card.
Block, nice. Boom, explode up. Boom, nice. Good again. I like that. I like that.
My name is Jess Feliciano, and I'm a purple belt under Padilla BJJ. I train jiu-jitsu because I'm obsessed with it. The minute I walked in the doors the first day, I knew what I wanted to do. It's a lifestyle. My jiu-jitsu family is my family, and my friends all do jiu-jitsu. My life consists of jiu-jitsu. If I'm not working, I'm training. So jiu-jitsu takes up most of my time. Winning EBI would mean everything to me. It's all I really trained for. When I joined Padilla, I knew he was an EBI vet, and I wanted to, that's the path I wanted to do under Jiu-Jitsu, because I have done the IBJJS, and I've done, you know, other rule sets. I felt like sub-only was where I wanted my Jiu-Jitsu to go.
Lock this out. Lock it out. Lock it out. There you go. Make sure you got your cross face coming through. There it is. Make that.
With the EBI rules, I don't have to worry about getting points scored on me, but I do have to worry about submissions from all kinds of positions. So it's easier to focus on submissions and not have to worry about being passed or taken down. I feel like I do better when I'm on the bottom, so it definitely helps out my game because I do like leg locks. So my training has always been sub-only since I've joined Padilla BJJ, and it doesn't change what I do now. Finishing in regulation is very important because of the money. Who doesn't like, you know, making some money? But it's something that it's always been hammered in our head. We need to finish in regulation. We want to finish, even if it is IBJJF. We're trained at our gym to finish. We're not trained to do points or to stall out. We want to finish in regulation. That's something that's always been embedded in our head. So winning in regulation is just something that I'm gonna do.
Start kicking your butt.
Expect to see some leg lock submissions. That's really what I'm known for. That's all I really train. a lot of these girls are IBJJF competitors, and they're my idols, and I've looked up to them since white belt. But EBI rules, like you have to train some leg locks, and you have to train the sub-only rule set. So that's where I think I'm gonna get them.
My name is Tracy Goodell. I'm a Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and I'm representing Hawaii Elite MMA. I've been training Jiu-Jitsu for about 11 years. I started training Jiu-Jitsu as a hobby just to get some exercise and do something different. Jiu-Jitsu has changed a lot. Women now are being recognized for their accomplishments. When I was training back in 2008, 2009, we weren't recognized as much as the men were, so it's come a long way. So my accomplishments, I've won like double gold in the Worlds, the Pan Ams, New York Open, I've won in Brazil, took first in Japan, the Philippines, just a few. I'm pretty much in the gym every day, so it takes up a lot of my time. I teach women's class, kids class, adult class, and train in between when I have time. My style of grappling, I used to like to play a lot from my back, a lot of guard. I was always just submit people from guard, but just been trying to play more top and work on different things here in Hawaii. For the future, hopefully after EBI, I'm looking to possibly try and fight a little bit and see if I get any other offers for bigger jiu-jitsu events. I haven't competed in any tournament with the EBI overtime rules, but I've been practicing it daily with my coach, so I'm getting pretty used to the format. With all the submissions being legal, it doesn't really change anything in my game, just definitely making me more cautious of a lot of submissions to look out for. At EBI 16, you'll definitely see that I'm dedicated to the sport. You'll see all the hard work that I've been putting in at the gym with my teammates and coaches.
At night's end, one woman will stand alone, crowning themselves the first ever EBI Bantamweight Queen. While the field rests between rounds at EBI 16, Combat Jiu-Jitsu champion Richie Boogeyman Martinez will look to put his welterweight title on the line as he faces a familiar foe in Bobby Emmons.
And we have a winner in overtime by armbar, and taking home $5,000, Richie Boogeyman Martinez.
My name is Richie Boogeyman Martinez, and I'm the current 170-pound champion for EBI CJJ. I represent 10 Planet Freaks right here in beautiful San Diego, California. I competed at the first welterweight EBI tournament at EBI 13, and my first match was against my friend Bobby Emmons. I already kind of knew his style. You know, he's somebody that I'm friends with, and somebody that I already kind of studied a little bit. So I kind of knew his game plan going into this match. I knew that he was gonna come in striking, so I kind of played that against him. I knew going into combat jiu-jitsu that I was only gonna strike if the opportunity came along. I wasn't gonna waste my time not using jiu-jitsu and use it to strike. My main focus is to use jiu-jitsu. Going into the Thiago Moses fight, I knew he was an MMA fighter and I knew he was gonna come in with heavy hands, but I fought MMA as well. You know, I know what it takes in those scenarios to be protecting myself, so I wasn't too worried about it.
Now he jumps guard. Interesting. One thing a lot of guys want to be on bottom position with the strikes involved, but Richie Martinez confident in his abilities, and he's actually the first one to throw a strike at him.
Exactly. He snuck a little one in there. Thiago threw one back, and now Richie's looking to clear the neck.
Can we see a potential go-go plot in here?
I train a lot of MMA fighters. I fought a lot of MMA, so I already know what I need to do. You know, I'm not too worried about palm strikes. Yes, I know that they're dangerous, and I know that they will open up different positions or different submissions, but at this moment, I already knew that my jiu-jitsu was gonna overcome the whole match.
He's X-breaking right now, crosses his ankles on the opposite.
He's got the arm.
Exposed.
That is a quick tap out.
Thiago really has to pull out something special here to try to get a tap.
That's it.
Yep.
Richie Martinez, your first ever welterweight CJJ champion.
There's no holding me back and there's no holding him back. Like, we know our goals, we know our intentions, and I'm not gonna stop him from trying to reach his goals, and he's not gonna stop me. So that's where the war comes around, right? So he wants to be the best, I want to be the best, and you know, on EBI 16, that's when we're gonna find out who's gonna be crowned the new welterweight champion. I keep on searching for new techniques and new avenues for me to get better. You know, like my team is amazing, and I take them with me when we go, but I've been going back to the source like Jean-Jacques Machado and Eddie Bravo, and they have been helping me a lot to develop my style and make my style even stronger. At EBI 12, it was the first women's CJJ tournament, and my student, Elima McFarlane, was able to capitalize and win with techniques and concepts that I had in my mind, and I saw him work in that tournament. I saw her win, so I saw what worked and what didn't work, and I brought it to my style, so I was able to compete with those same concepts so I could be successful as well in winning my EBI title. When Ben Eddy won his CJJ title, I was able to gather a lot of the techniques that he used. You know, me and Ben Eddy have uniquely kind of similar styles, so a lot of the stuff that worked for him, I feel that could work for me. So I'm using a lot of the stuff that he used, a lot of stuff that I used for my EBI CJJ title, and a lot of the stuff that Elima used, and I'm putting it all together, and I'm trying to create some sort of new style and concepts so for us, all three of us, to keep our titles. Eddie Bravo's 10-planet system was created for MMA and for self-defense, so you to protect yourself. And I feel that CJJ is the perfect scenario for us to use 10-planet in. I feel that everything he's taught us, everything he's said, everything he's done works exactly into CJJ. And I feel that that's the reason why us 10-planet freaks have been really successful in CJJ.
Ready, set, guy on top. I want you to posture up with D10 and get out of town. Go!
Since we've been using rubber guard for so long, right? So I feel that that's gonna be one of my main weapons going into this match, along with a lot of new and secret weapons that I've been trying to develop for my matches. Going with the CJJ stuff, it motivates me because I know that Eddie Bravo is really excited about it. So if he's excited about it, I know I need to represent for us, and I know that I need to be able to you know, be at that level so I could be a champion and I could keep that title for me and my team.
The combat jiu-jitsu is perfect.
But you know, whatever you want me to do, I'm a soldier for you.
Combat jiu-jitsu.
I'm more hyped now than I've ever been, and I know that this title has to come back home, especially since the event's gonna be here in San Diego, in my hometown. There's no way I'm gonna lose this match. There's no way. I'm fighting strong and I'm fighting hard, and I'm doing everything in my powers to win this title and keep this title at me and my gym and for the freaks.
Don't worry about the hits, Richie, right now. Don't even worry about the hits right now. Richie, don't play that game. Don't worry about the hits.
I think our first match was a lot more competitive than people thought it was even going to be.
No, you got to push against the hips and you have to. It's a guard,
First time I really competed on the big stage, I had just got my black belt 4 or 5 months prior to that. So, you know, there's a lot of emotion going into it. I was excited, a little bit nervous at the same time, but that was quite a while ago, so, you know, I'm going to be a lot more ready for this one. It was an honor facing a guy like Boogie, who's been around for a long time, been a black belt for a long time. The game plan was just, control the match and get the submission. Got done training here at Nice Guy one night, checked my phone like I always do, and had a text from Eddie asking me if I wanted to rematch with Boogie for the belt, so I jumped all over it. The one thing I would say we both have in common is we're not boring. Neither one of us want to go the whole time, and we're both going to be looking for the submission. It's just a different kind of style of submissions, I think, that we both play. The way that both he and I play, I'm not saying there won't be a chance for any up kicks, but neither one of us really play the stand over the guy and guard game. From what I've seen, he attacks, I attack, so I think once it goes to the ground, it's going to be on the ground. I don't think you'll see a lot of standing up and trying to avoid any kind of entanglement or anything like that. He's very well-rounded, very flexible, very long. As I know firsthand, he's got a great darce. He's got a really slick guard game. And of course I plan on finishing him. That's why I'm coming.
He's going, he got past. Secure that lockdown.
Even though CJJ is only slapping and up kicks right now, it's, especially MMA guys, it teaches you kind of how you can move and whatnot without getting hit or with getting hit, and what you can get away with and what you can't. I know it's not as brutal, so to speak, as elbows and punches, but it does kind of open up the movements, and no one likes getting slapped in the face. I don't want to go to overtime. I don't think he wants to go to overtime. Winning is great. Winning the belt is great. But EBI, they don't pay for overtime victories, and nobody wants to watch a boring 15-minute match. Even though I lost, I made a simple mistake, got caught, but I think it surprised a lot of people, and I think Eddie knows that I'm not coming to be boring. I'm coming to, grapple, and I'm coming for the finish. The past 6 weeks of my life have sucked. In the last 9-10 years of my life, it's going to be the highlight of all that, and it's everyone in the gym. It's not just me winning it. It's Nice Guy Submission Fighting winning it.
Get ready for the world's premier submission-only event. It's EBI 16, the Female Bantamweights.
It's possible. It's possible to live the dream and to be here and to be a champion, to be a woman in the sport and your name become big.
A luta no feminino vem crescendo muito. As mulheres estão mais abertas para isso e estão indo em busca do que elas querem, do que elas gostam de fazer também.
I've been training Jiu-Jitsu for so long that that's all I know. And I have no idea who I would be if it wasn't for Jiu-Jitsu. And I don't plan on finding out anytime soon who I would be without it.
We can expect to see a lot of leg locks, a lot of leg lock attacks for sure. But if it has to come to the overtime, I'm gonna tap people out.
I'll definitely be ready if the overtime happens. And when you get, the higher the skill level and the closer the matches, it's a very real possibility. It can be very hard to submit someone who's super tough. So, got to be ready for everything.
It's life or death, it's different than MMA. It's a different mindset. Yeah, I'm not getting punched in the face, but you also have to be wary of these leg locks these positions that you wouldn't get into in MMA because there's no punching.
I do think that that's something that a lot of people don't have, that extra little bit of push to just carry you through, every hard training session. And I think that drive is what's going to carry me through my career in Jiu-Jitsu and through this card.
I need to make sure I put the game into my game a lot quicker. Just pull my trigger.
Super exciting for somebody like me who's all about the submission-only game, and that's mostly what we train in here, is going for the kill, going for the submission. Really, it's going for the kill and making somebody give up, making somebody tap out is really the ultimate win.
With all the submissions being legal, it doesn't really change anything in my game, just definitely making me more cautious of a lot of submissions to look out for.
EBI rules, like you have to train some leg locks and you have to train the sub-only rule set.
I'm going out there to really take names and to dominate, so I'm showing the world that I deserve to be competing at this level.
We know our goals, we know our intentions, and I'm not gonna stop him from trying to reach his goals, and he's not gonna stop me, so that's where the war comes around, right? So he wants to be the best, I want to be the best, and you know, on EBI 16, that's when we're gonna find out who's gonna be crowned the new welterweight champion.
I'm not coming to be boring. I'm coming to, you know, grapple, and I'm coming for the finish.